Right everyone, it is Finn here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about what went wrong with Portugal at Euro 2020, because it is official, the defending champions, 2016 Euro winners Portugal, have been knocked out of the round of 16 to a 1-0 loss versus Belgium. And looking at this Portuguese national team, there was a lot of expectation from many people for Portugal to win Euro 2020, to win back-to-back Euros, because this national team has some of the best players from the entire world all around the pitch. But nope, they were knocked out of the round of 16, and that is why in today's video I'm going to be talking about what went wrong for Portugal throughout this competition. Do you blame the players, the manager, or were they just unlucky? And in terms of Portugal being unlucky, do I personally think that Portugal were unlucky? To an extent, I do have to say yes. I mean, within the last week and a half, Portugal have played against 2014 World Cup winners Germany, 2018 World Cup winners France, and Belgium, who are currently ranked number 1 in the world. And if they went through to the next stage, they would have to play against Italy, who are currently 30 games unbeaten. To call Portugal unlucky in terms of the fixtures they were given, it's a tiny bit of an understatement. And if they won all those games, could definitely earn the title best team in the entire world. So yes, as I said, in terms of Portugal's fixtures, you could argue that maybe they were unlucky. But saying that, pushing that aside, I do think Portugal could have stepped up a level. I've been saying it throughout this tournament, and I know many people do disagree with me. I know many people who are Portuguese do disagree with me, but I don't think Portugal have been hitting the heights that they should have. Looking at them in that game versus Belgium, I actually thought they were brilliant. I actually thought it was one of Portugal's better performances. But saying that, 23 shots throughout the entire game and only 4 on target. Look, Portugal dominated the game versus Belgium in my opinion, and yes, we're unlucky in many aspects. Yes, I think there were 1 or 2 shots that could have gone in the net. I think that goal that Belgium scored was absolutely unstoppable. Portugal couldn't do anything about it. Yes, maybe 1 or 2 referee decisions could have gone the other way, but to have 23 shots and only 4 on target with the likes of Jota, Cristiano Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva, Andre Silva, Bruno Fernandes, that is actually just ridiculous, and to an extent, a tiny bit embarrassing. As I said, I thought Portugal dominated that game in many ways, but in the terms of the attacking front, it just wasn't there for me. And I think Portugal as a whole, as I said, this entire team has been very underwhelming, and I think different sections of this team has let me down through different stages. In terms of the defense, obviously I would reference that 4-2 loss versus Germany in the group stage. I think this defense is an amazing defense. As I said, I think Ruben Dias has probably been the best centre-back in the entire world over the last season. I think Pepe is a fantastic centre-back, but this Portuguese team seems to zonal mark. They don't seem to man mark specific players, and when it comes to going against Germany with the speed and kind of spatial awareness that attack has, that really did cost this Portuguese national team. And saying that, talking about their defense, I know this sounds like a big claim I'm going to say, but I think things could have been different if the likes of João Cancelo didn't test positive for COVID-19. Fantastic right back, one of the best right backs in the entire world over the last year in my opinion. And although Nelson Semedo is a really decent right back, doesn't have the exact same crossing ability that Cancelo has, but saying that, maybe things would have been different, or wouldn't have been different, if Cancelo was playing. Football is not a game of if this and if that, because anyone's going to come up with a ridiculous argument. It's like saying, oh, if Ronaldo scored 2 more goals, they would have won the game. Football just doesn't work like that. So you know what, maybe in that regard also Portugal were unlucky, but this team is good enough to win the competition. Don't forget, this is a 2016 Euro winning team, a 2019 Nations League winning team. It is a fantastic team, but many players just didn't perform, to be honest with you. I already mentioned the attack in terms of they weren't clinical enough, and we definitely saw chances throughout this tournament where maybe the attack was a tiny bit selfish, where they took shots and chances that they knew they had an obvious passing opportunity. Obviously, many people seem to be referencing that Jota to Cristiano Ronaldo pass he could have made. In terms of the midfield, I don't even know why Bruno Fernandes got on that plane, to be honest with you. I'm a Manchester United fan. I watch Bruno Fernandes day in, day out. I know what he brings to the table, but I also know on a quiet day that he brings absolutely nothing. In fact, he probably steals the table, to be honest with you. He can actually negatively impact the team when he doesn't play well, and I get so frustrated as a Manchester United fan, as I said, to watch a player like Bruno Fernandes who comes onto the pitch off of the bench in a big game. A top player who was on the bench had to come off, and when there's ever any opportunity, he falls to the ground when anyone's within a 2-meter radius of him. That's just ridiculous. I just don't agree with Bruno Fernandes' mentality. I think he should just get up and continue with the game. I get so tired of players diving, rolling around on the floor, those antics. That is why many non-football supporters hate the sport, is because of antics like that. I think Bruno Fernandes definitely as a whole whole needed to step up this tournament. And you know what? I definitely think that Portugal looked a bit more dominant now that Renato Sanchez was starting. As I said, throughout other games this tournament, maybe versus Germany, when Portugal didn't start Renato Sanchez, the game is totally different for them. I think Renato Sanchez is one of those players that makes a big difference to a team, and I have to say congratulations to him. Obviously, yes, Portugal were knocked out the round of 16, but Renato Sanchez has turned his career around completely and has really given more life to his whole career as a whole. Obviously was brilliant in the 2016 Euros, made a move to Bayern Munich, where unfortunately, yes, he did flop, was loaned out to Swansea, where he even flopped at Swansea, but won the French league with Lille this season, and brilliant once again for Portugal. He is a player who could really go places, but as I said, this Portuguese national team, it's so bizarre because I believe that they do have the best players in the world. As I mentioned, João Cancelo feels playing best right back in the world in my opinion this season. Ruben Dias, Bruno Fernandes on his day is brilliant in the midfield. Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously I don't even have to mention him up front. This is a brilliant team, but as a team, they didn't play well, and I do once again have to go back to the luck thing. Versus Belgium. Looking at Belgium, 18 of their 26 players in their squad was in the 2018 World Cup. This Belgium team is a work in progress that has been working together for many years. Now, it is a family. It is almost like club football, the way that they are designed. So for Portugal to go against them, it was always going to be tough. As I said, I like this Portuguese national team, but on their day, I just don't think they showed up. Yes, I know many people are going to argue with me in the comment section down below that they thought that there was an obvious penalty that Portugal could have gotten. But at the end of the day, whether there should have been a penalty that Portugal should have gotten or not, as I said, I'm going to sound like a broken record, repeating myself over and over. But 23 shots and only 4 on target, whether you have a penalty in there or not, that is absolutely embarrassing if you want to be considered the best team in the world. As I said, I like this Portuguese national team. It's got a great mixture of youth, a great mixture of veterans. I think it's a really nice mixture of players. But as a team, unfortunately, they just didn't show up this tournament. I do wish them luck, obviously, for the World Cup next year. I would like to see them perform well. And you know what? I think they could do relatively well if they work on the mistakes that I mentioned in today's video. And I want to ask you guys to put down in the comment section down below, do you think Cristiano Ronaldo, sorry, it's like the one player's name who I should be able to say as a football fan, do you think Cristiano Ronaldo will be at the next Euros? Do you think he'll be at the 2024 whatever Euros? Or do you think he won't be playing international football by that stage? Is this the last we've seen of Ronaldo at the Euros? I want you guys to tell me that in the comment section down below. But as I said, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. That is what I believe has been wrong with Portugal throughout this tournament. As I said, unfortunately, I wouldn't say there was any game I've been super impressed with them. Obviously, that France game was highly competitive. That could have gone either way. Portugal weren't bad in that game. In the game versus Hungary, yes, they did end up winning 3-0, but only in the last 5 minutes of the game did they really step up. I just think this Portuguese national team is brilliant, but unfortunately, throughout this tournament, it just wasn't their time. Unfortunately, that could just be my opinion, but guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed and you want to catch more content like this. I'd love to hit 1,500 subscribers before the end of the tournament, and do leave a like down below. Portuguese fans, as I said, I'm sorry if I have offended you. This is just my opinion on the matter. I love this national team. I hope it goes far, but unfortunately, this just wasn't the tournament for them. Guys, this has been Finn, FYNN. Have a good one.